Okay, good morning. Joyce Curry here for eResearch, and I'm speaking with Norman Brewster of Cadillac Ventures. Norm, thank you for coming in this morning and allowing investors to get to know a little bit more about you.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
So, Norm, how did you get into the mining industry?
Well, university, I suppose. I went to school in university, took a geological degree and BSc, and subsequent to graduating, the only place I could get a job was in the mining industry, and I had to move to Toronto from Nova Scotia to do that.
Okay. Now, you have been in the industry for over 35 years. What would you say are one or two of the key developments or changes in the industry, and how are they important?
Well, the key thing that happened during my career that affected the whole of the industry would be the creation of flow-through shares. For those who do not know, a flow-through share is, first off, junior mining companies do not attract any income. They have no income. So they cannot expense monies they spend on exploration. Mm-hmm. So the flow-through share was created as a mechanism whereby the ordinary taxpayer could invest in mining company shares, and the value of that investment would A, give him shares, but B, he could deduct the monies so spent from his ordinary income. Okay. as a tax write-off.
Right, okay.
Now, the impact of the flow-through share mechanism, and it's only available to Canadian companies to spend in Canada, and the result was the reinvigoration of the whole of the Canadian North by mining exploration.
All right. Now, you yourself have been in the mining industry for over 35 years. You've worked on many different projects, including taking a mine through to production and final takeover. So what would you say is your proudest achievement?
Well, you just mentioned it, the ability to have started a company in 1997 with my partner, co-founded it. We took that company through several exploration projects, but at one point found a project in Spain called Aguas Teñidas. We acquired it in 2004, and between 2004 to just the past January, we developed a mine, financed it into production, operated it, and it was subsequently taken over by Trafigura. During that same process, about 2008, we actually bought another mine and operated that. So I guess that would have to be my big achievement so far, was to have helped create that company, have two operating mines, and have it taken over in a $500 million transaction, which benefited all the shareholders.
Absolutely. Now, yourself, what would you say are your greatest personal strengths, and how do they make you a better CEO?
I am quite flexible in my thinking, so that allows me to work with a wide range of people. I do have experience all over the world: Russia, West Africa, South America, Canada, and I have seen a lot of geological environments. I have the ability to attract strategic partners to my endeavors, and I tough things out. I can stay the long haul and make something happen.
Okay. Who would you say has inspired you in your career?
There's one gentleman I worked for early in my career. His name is Peter Howe. Peter Howe is a mining engineer. He created a firm called A.C. Howe International. I was his partner, along with a couple other partners, for some 13 years in that business, and I watched how he operated and how he conducted his business life, and I said, well, that's something I'd like to do, and eventually I did.
Yes, you did. Now, what would you say is one of the greatest challenges that you've confronted in the industry, and further, what have you learned from it?
Well, I've done it a couple times. Once was successful, once wasn't. The biggest challenge is taking a project from a grassroots exploration effort through development to production and managing to stay the course for all of that. it requires different skill sets and different talents at different spots along the way. One of the first one I attempted was a company called Augmito Explorations. 1987, we built a mill. It was about 90% done. Underground was done. 1987 came, crash happened. That company went bankrupt. Then we participated in the Aguas Tenidas project in Spain during the period 2004 to 2012. Happily, I can say that was a much more pleasant experience. The mines went into production.
So this is where toughing it through pays off.
Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, you have a very busy corporate life, but tell me a little bit about outside of this, your outside interests.
Well, I don't watch television, therefore I'm a voracious reader. I read ancient history, almost anything from any period on that nature. I'm an avid swimmer, so during the summer I swim a lot. And once a year, 3 or 4 of my friends and I, we get together. We're all fly fishermen. So we get together and go to Iceland for a week and fly fish for salmon.
All right. What would you say is the greatest achievement in your life?
Well, outside of the industry, the big achievement, I guess, would be managing to convince Maureen, my wife, whom I married, to stay with me for 40 years.
That's an achievement.
Yeah, over and above me not being around during the early stages. I have 3 children, and we successfully got those children raised, all of them through university. 2 of them work in the mining industry currently. One's a mining engineer, the other is logistics, and my 3rd child, a daughter, is just completing a PhD in archaeology.
Okay. Now for new graduates, new mining graduates coming out, what advice would you give them? What would you want them to know?
Well, it's a hard industry, mining, particularly for geologists. The home life is not necessarily the best. You're traveling most of the time because your work isn't on Bay Street. It's in the woods. And it makes it difficult if you are married to sustain a marriage. A lot of my friends didn't. And if you're not married, you're not going to find many young ladies north of 40. Therefore, it's tough. The mining engineers, that discipline tends to be easier on people and families as it's a more settled lifestyle. All that having been said, the mining industry is a great industry to be in. It's been particularly beneficial to me. I've made lots of money in it, lost lots of money too. But the secret of the mining industry, I guess, is that you can create new wealth. You can be part of new wealth creation, adding to the gross product of the country, which that's satisfying.
Okay. Last word. Norm, are you excited about Cadillac Ventures going forward?
Yes, I'm excited. I think Cadillac, the Thierry project, has the makings of being able to go into production. It looks like a mine to me, and I think we can get it there, and we have the alliances and the ability to attract financial partners to put that into production.
Okay, thank you. It's been Joyce Curry, Furry Research, speaking to Norman Brewster of Cadillac Ventures.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Joyce.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.